Hi everybody, it is day 5 for math. You need your day number 5 math packet. We are working on lesson number 4. So today we're going to be decomposing fractions into sums of smaller unit fractions using tape diagrams. Like I've been saying all week, this is tough, so please stay focused. Problem number 1. Please write what I write. We are going to use tape diagrams to represent the decomposition of 1/3 as the sum of unit fractions. So let's start by drawing a tape diagram. Let's break it into thirds. This whole tape diagram represents one whole. Let's shade in 1/3 of it. And we'll label that 1/3 right there. Now, we're going to decompose, which means make smaller, each of the thirds in half. Watch how I do that. Here's 1/3, cutting it in half. Another 1/3, and another 1/3. Feel free to use a pen, colored pencil, if it helps. So, how many parts are there now? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts. So, if I say to you, what fraction of the whole does each part represent? You would tell me 1/6. Now, how many 6 are shaded? Well, we've got 1/6 and another 6, so 2 6. What can we say about 1/3 and 2 6? Well, they're exactly the same. They take up the exact same amount of space. I didn't draw in anymore. I didn't erase anymore. They're exactly the same. So, I can show that in my number sentence. I started with 1/3. I decomposed that third into 6. It takes 2 6 to equal the same as 1/3. And when I add 1/6 plus 1/6, I get 2 6. Can I write this as a multiplication sentence? Absolutely. We're building on what we learned yesterday. I had 1/3. Now I have 2 parts times what they're each worth, 1/6. And when you multiply that together, you get 2 6. For those of you who would like to see this in a different way, we can draw the number bond. I started with 1/3, and it took 2 1/6 to equal it. Now, all right, we got that. We're going up another level. Now, we're going to take the same tape diagram and we're going to decompose each 6th into 2 equal parts. So, here we go. All right, how many parts do I have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So, if I say to you, what fractional part of the whole does each piece represent? You would tell me 1/12. This is a 1/12. That's a 1/12. So, how many 12ths equals 1/6? Well, it would be 2. So I can then say that 2/12 equals 1/6. How do I know? I didn't add any more. I didn't erase any. The amount stayed the same. All right, let's go on to problem number 2. This time, we're going to use the diagrams to represent the decomposition of 1/5 and 2/5 as the sum of smaller unit fraction. So, let's write down the fraction 1/5 and let's draw that. Let's shade in 1/5 of it. Now, what I want you to do is to decompose each of the fifths into 3 equal parts. To do that, I have to add 2 lines to each part. 2 lines gives me 3 parts. So, I started with 1/5. How many parts are there now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So each part represents 1/15. So here's 1/15, there's 1/15, and there's 1/15. So I can write an addition sentence to show how many 15ths it takes to make 1/5. Started with 1/5. It's equal to 1/15 plus 1/15 plus 1/15. Can I show that as a multiplication sentence? Absolutely. 1/5 equals how many parts? 1, 2, 3 times what each part is worth, 1/15. What can I say about 1/5 and 3/15? They're equal. They're absolutely the same amount. I didn't erase any. I didn't shade any more. I just renamed it. Fractions are fun because they can go by lots of different names, the same amount. Now, if this is confusing you, don't worry, stay with me. These tape diagrams, they're visuals. For you visual learners, we will eventually get away from that. All right, let's go to the problem set. It should say lesson 4 problem set. A has been done for us. So what you're going to do is you have a tape diagram and the whole thing represents one whole. And what they've done is they've shown the same amount, but they've broken it down differently. So this one, it started with 1 out of 1, 2, 3. So it's 1/3. This is also 1/3. 1, 2, 3. I'm just not counting those dotted lines right now. So, how many parts do I have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, it's 1/3 equals 1/6 plus 1/6. They're the same. Over here, how many parts do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So each individual part is 1/12. How many twelfths does it take to equal 1/3? 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. So 1/12 plus 1/12 plus 1/12 plus 1/12. So that is how you are going to do C and D. Okay, don't cross off number 2, but don't do it. We will do that on Thursday when you come to school. Flip to the back. For number 3, A's been done for us, but what we're going to do is draw a tape diagram that represents the first fraction. So I need to show 2/6. I need to shade in 2 of them. And now I have to prove that this amount is equal to 4/12. So that means in this section of 2, I now need 4. So I'm going to cut each of these pieces in half. If I did it correctly, I'll have 4 that's shaded, 1, 2, 3, 4, out of a total of 12 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There it is. So I started with 2/6 and I ended with 4/12. They are equal. It is the exact same amount. So I want you to do C and D. And then for 4, 5, and 6, we'll do 4 together. It wants us to show that 1/2 is equivalent to 4/8 using a tape diagram and a number sentence. So, draw my tape diagram, shade 1 out of 2 parts. I need to show that it's equivalent to 4/8, so I need to take each part and decompose it into 4 parts. 4 parts means 3 lines. Count, make sure I have 4 in each part, and 8 total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I did. So my number sentence, and this time let's use multiplication. I started with 1/2. I now have 4 parts times, they're each worth 1/8, and it now is showing 4/8. So that's how I want you to do 5 and 6. Please be as neat as you can. Don't be sloppy because then it's too hard for me to check these. So help your teacher out. We can go over all of these when you come to school on Thursday. We'll do examples together, and hopefully we can all understand it by the time we're done.